Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. Just a few minutes ago, Netherlands dropped their song for Eurovision 2023. It's called Burning Daylight by Nicolai and Dion Cooper. And I figured I kind of want to listen to it. So I'm going to do that right now, and you're all invited to listen to me in just a few seconds. Now. Like, a thing that I'm kind of thinking of, though, when I listen to it is that no, not instrumentally, what do you say, melodically, it's not one of these songs that I will absolutely remember. It doesn't really have that kind of melodic hook to it. I get that it doesn't really require that when you make a song within this genre, but it still, the song has this drive and has a very powerful vocal arrangement, that it kind of feels like it would be a given that the vocal would actually stick with me, or the melody would stick with me, but I'm not really feeling that just yet. I might just need a few more listens and then I will go around humming it, but it didn't really have like that, I guess, like, it's mainly the chorus that I'm speaking of now. It didn't really have that rhythmic, actual impactful delivery in the rhythm to actually really click with me, and intonation-wise, wasn't really that interesting either. I think the verses had a much more engaging vocal arrangement, especially like melodically, because there was a lot of like, or a little bit more intensity in those sections, a little bit energy. I think instrumentally the song absolutely fits everything that goes on here. It's kind of a slow moving song, but it still has, the drive. It has a very loud impact on a lot of the hits. It becomes very dynamic due to that. The opening is very subtle, but it still has energy from the piano arrangement, I'd say. It's a pretty, like, what do you say, like a constant and pretty fast moving piano arrangement for such a slow song, I guess you'd say. I think what absolutely sets it apart is vocal performances here. I think like this opening minute of the guy here singing, it's one of these sections that I feel like, wow, what a voice he actually has here, and there's such a clarity in his vocal tone, and it becomes very prominent in the first chorus. I think it has a lovely delivery, the first chorus mainly. As the song builds, I feel like they do a lot of right things. They pick up the drumming a little bit to use as the energy in the back. They incorporate these, like how they sing together in a duet way to actually deliver like, what do you call it, like a convincing tone, and really just hammer home the vocals. And there's a lot of just layering with the vocal as well, incorporating backing vocals, making the soundstage really large behind them. There's a lot of work in just making it sound really wide with panning and with simply layering the sounds on each other. As a like It could really easily become a mixing issue, because what I feel like when I listen to the song is that it's really loud at times when the impacts actually hit. Um, it's not going to come across in the same way when you see it as a performance, but I'm feeling it a bit now that it's actually really loud. It's a nice kind of dynamic with the more softer parts of the song, but I feel like maybe sometimes it relies more on loudness than it does on energy, which I think might actually be, I guess, a wrong, a choice that's not ideal, I guess. I'll just have to get used to it, I guess, and make up my mind later. But that's my spontaneous thought right now, is that loudness is kind of the driving force within this song, instead of actually kicking up energy and making sure that the song actually has a trajectory for something that will actually stick with you. Instead, it just kind of relies on these slow hits, really hammering home. Like every rhythmic hit becomes much more, I guess, intense, because they're more sparsely used in this way. And I think that's a choice that I probably would have preferred them to do the other way around, to actually allow more rhythmic hits to kind of push the song forward, instead of just making the ones that you have really loud. Just a spontaneous thought like that. I think instrumentation-wise, it's really quite strong, actually. I like how the guitar is being used. I think that the piano being constant is really nice. I think the opening part of the song is absolutely the standout. As everything comes in together, it does it in a right way, but it's, as I said, it's kind of just has to do with the energy of it, I guess, when all of the other instruments come in. It's a very wide arrangement, and it does a lot with like the vocal layering as well with like strings and such. But I guess what I'm kind of feeling as well when the song actually progresses is that becomes kind of a muffled soundstage. A lot of the sounds are kind of, I'm not going to say fighting against each other, because I feel like they're still somewhat in unison, but it's a lot of loud impacts that just kind of stack up on each other. And I'm not entirely sold on that. Still, regardless of everything that I've heard here, I think this is a really promising one. I think it could be performed live in a very, very convincing manner. I think the vocals are standout, top notch, top tier. The song it has like a concept there that I'm quite fond of. I like the energy of the piano that opens the song. I think the first minute of the song is absolutely wonderful. Then it kind of loses me a little bit, but it still has playful parts in there. It's dynamic, which actually intrigues me quite a lot, and I really appreciate that when it goes between sections. But I'm not overly convinced yet on the overall, I guess, in what do you call it, like the impression that it leaves me. I'm not overly convinced by it just yet, but I'll give it a few more listens and see if it's something that I completely click with, or if I'm just quite fine with it. Regardless, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video with me and listening to the song, and tell me what you think of the Dutch effort this year. Is it how do you think it will do in the contest? I guess, do you think it's a qualifier? I'd say so. I'm not sure what semi it's in, but I think there's potential for a great performance here. So I think this definitely has potential. That's all for this time, though. I hope to see you in another review pretty soon. So until then, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.